Hi guys, it is Monday, it's 8:10, it's supposed to be in the mid to upper 80s today, which does not make me happy. Ooh, I see stuff on my lens. That means I probably should clean it, because otherwise I'll have focusing issues. What? What are you talking about? What are you squawking for? Anyway, I figured today I'd vlog a little bit with birds out because people have said, oh, I like seeing your birds when they're out. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know why they do that? Because of the hollow sound. Okay, whatever. Anyway, bug calls are pretty busy today, but I just thought I'd take a break, and I just went and made a cup of tea. Ouch, Klinger. Wow, Klinger, ow. Anyway, I thought I would take a break. I'm going to go work on, for the black curtains in the motorhome, I just made one panel because my plan was only to pull them across when we were in motion or at night, but the curtain rod is so long that it kind of sags a little bit in the middle, and it did come with 3 hook things to hold it up, so I brought them in so I can cut them in half and run a seam up the middle, and that way we can have 3 supports for it, one in the middle, and I'll just have to move one side to one side and one side to the other side, I guess, when I open them, instead of just all to one side. Oh, she's so pretty. Okay. What? What? What's that? What's that? What's that bird? You telling me something, huh? You tell me a story? About 5 after 6. I've been fighting with my keyboard. Pete's taking a nap. The dogs are locked up. The cat's outside. He wants to be outside, so that's where he's sunning himself, sleeping in the lawn or whatever. He loves to sleep out there in the sun. But the dogs came in. I got several birds out. As you know, they have to come out in 2 shifts. A couple people have mentioned me feeding people food to my pets, to my dogs. First of all, it's not people food, it's just real food. Just like grass isn't cow food. Just saying, just like worms aren't robin food. They're worms. But anyway, yeah, the reason I do that, several things. Number one, when I was a vet tech back in the 80s, every time we'd get an old guy or an old lady come in with their elderly dog that was in great shape, and I'd say, oh my gosh, that dog's in great shape. What do you feed it? Oh, table scraps. Always lived on table scraps. That's what they called it back then. Vets hate that. They don't like it at all. In fact, in those same days, there were pet food companies, not just dog, that would spend large amounts of money feeding us at banquets and taking us out to lunch and telling us all the reasons we should be selling their food. And so we did. Really, I think the dog food companies have made it so that we feel awful that we can't possibly give a dog everything that they need to have unless we feed their food. And through repetition, that has become dogma. But I've read enough to know that dogs do well on food as opposed to processed nuggets. And I would suspect the same for most animals. But I do know the whole reason I started this was because, as you know, Pharaoh went into congestive heart failure, and it was discovered that he had kidney issues. I do know that his kidney blood values were so high that the vet recommended euthanasia between that and the other the congestive heart failure. Since I've started giving them real food as opposed to fake nuggets, it took 2 months and his kidney function is normal now. A friend of mine who inherited her mother's elderly dog, about a month ago, their vet said the dog is at the end of her lifetime, do the kindest thing, and the dog was just laying around. She called me. She was really upset. Obviously, she was upset, but she decided to give it a shot and just try this kind of real dog food diet. Not that I told her to, but she had heard me mention it on Facebook, so she asked about it, and she asked how I fed. At the same time, her dog, who is a young dog, not a pup, but a young adult dog, has had seizures forever, and they haven't been able to control him apparently, but he's had all these seizures. Amazingly enough, she's discovered the seizures stopped, and the old dog is now active again by removing the kibble from the diet. So, obviously, if you have done your due diligence and you believe that's the best thing to do is feed your dog food, then by all means. I'm just telling you what I do and why. And I don't care that the vet doesn't like it. It's always been irrelevant to me since I know that the vets receive very little nutritional training. Very little, especially with parrots. We're worried about getting everything the dogs need because the dog food commercials and magazine ads have told us so well year after year after year after year that they are the only ones who can do that. We can't possibly know every micronutrient that they need. We're only the owners. We have to leave it up to those who really know what's best for our dogs. And if you can't tell from my tone what I think of that. Guys, shut that. Get the glare off the glasses. 9:15. Already ended this once, but since something happened, I'm going to delete the other ending and just tack this on. Guess what happened? I figured out my problem with my keyboard. I can't believe it, but it's true. I figured it out. I watched more videos. I've watched them all, but that, pertain to this keyboard. Well, except for the performance videos. But anyway, I thought, I don't know what I'm missing. I looked through them. I just didn't know what I was doing. So I still don't know what I was doing wrong or what I'm doing right. I can save my registrations now. My registration banks. Right after that, I just sat down and saved it, and it saved this time, and I'm not sure what I'm doing differently. Not quite sure, but I'm sure it's something, obviously. But I get it now. I've done, probably close to 3 hours, 2.5 hours. I've been doing it over and over and over, so I wouldn't lose how to do it or whatever. And it works, so all is good. I'm happy with my keyboard now. I was so close to just putting this one away and getting out my old faithful 9000 Pro. The only thing that stopped me is it's too heavy and it's too big. You got to take amps and speakers and everything because it doesn't have its own. And that's too much to take in the motorhome, so who knew? I spent my Monday catching up on comments. 5 days worth. That's a lot of comments. But in between bug calls, I had an exceedingly busy day. I had over 50 calls halfway through the day. And I was just ready to flip. But I didn't, because I never do. That's why I'm so good at my job. So I was really busy. I didn't get to watch any vlogs.
And you got your old computer going to be fixed.
Oh, that's right. This new computer with Windows 8.1 that I hate, that I despise. I mean, the computer's okay. Windows 8.1 is awful. I've wanted to put Linux back on it, and we have been unable to put Linux on it. So Pete took my old computer to a computer store or computer repair place and they can fix it. $65 and I get my old computer with Linux back. Yes! I have an awful lot to be thankful for today. My keyboard, my old computer. So it's a great day. It'd be a great day anyway, but this just makes it greater, these two things. But tomorrow, it's supposed to rain downstate where the Bugman area is. And if that's the case, it might be a later call day. And if that's the case, then I'll be watching vlogs. And I will be doing my best to catch up. It's impossible to catch up when you get that far behind. Last week, between getting the motorhome inside done, getting Leland, having Leland here and everything, it just didn't happen. Plus busy bug week for bug calls, so. But tomorrow, hopefully I'll be able to I'll start working backwards, Alright guys, I will see you later. I'm going to go. I hope you all have a terrific Tuesday. Take care, God bless, and good night.